Alright, welcome back to Dragon Age Inquisition. Varric?
Need something?
I've read your tale of the champion, and I have a few questions.
That's a pretty common reaction. Go ahead.
Carry on.
Yeah, I guess he's not gonna tell me anything new. At least not right now. I guess Colin might tell me something. Seeing as he's switched position, maybe Liliana.
Going to have new verses in the Chant of Light now.
It's far too soon to consider anything.
We'll make good use of it.
Thank
Can
you.
we get you anything?
Farewell.
Goodbye.
Thank you.
There were so many questions surrounding Faria's death. Did he think we wouldn't notice? He's killed Faria, one of my best agents, and knows where the others are. You know what must be done. Make it clean. Painless if you can. We were friends once.
Wait, what are you doing?
He betrayed us. He murdered my agent.
And you'd kill him, just like that.
You find fault with my decision?
If he has knowledge, then he's a resource. Use him.
He's a loose end who could escape and get word to our enemies. Butler's betrayal put our agents in danger. I condemned one man to save dozens. I may not like what I do, but it must be done. I cannot afford the luxury of ideals at a time like this.
If you don't like what you do, it's a pretty good sign you're doing something bad.
That is certainly one way to put it. Very well. I will think of another way to deal with this man. Apprehend Butler, but see that he lives. Now, if you're happy, I have more work to do.
He might have information.
Reports of fade rifts and demons keep coming. The people are terrified, and it's only getting worse. The only thing that will calm their fears now is the hope that someone out there can save them. You have to be that someone. No one else has any power over the rifts. Seal them. Your legend will spread, and Thedas will learn to trust the Inquisition.
Why do you want me to seek out the rebel mages? Why do you care?
I've known mages. Some of them were better people than me. And yet I'm free and they're not. It's not right.
Anything I should know?
I've nothing to report at the moment.
You seem to know a great many people.
I have made friends, and on occasion enemies. It's unavoidable.
You have a history with the Warden who ended the Blight, don't you?
I count him among my closest friends. I still write to him for advice when I can. He hasn't replied to my letters in some time. I try not to worry about it. He can take care of himself.
They say you spent some time in Lothering. Did you know the champion?
We spoke a few times. I seldom left the Chantry, and we never became more than casual acquaintances. I saw more of the Hawk twins. Bethany in particular. She would spend time in meditation at the Chantry, and she seemed to like my stories. The other one, the young man, he was a little surly. I did encounter the champion again later in Kirkwall. Those were terrible times.
Was this when the Chantry was destroyed?
No, that happened later. But even then, the news coming out of Kirkwall was disheartening. There were some in Val Rayo who wanted the Divine to declare an exalted march on Kirkwall. Justina sent me there to see if that could be avoided, to gather evidence to calm those agitating for war. I guess it didn't matter in the end.
We can continue this conversation later.
You know where I am. I'm listening.
You seem to know.
I have made friends, and on occasion enemies. It's unavoidable.
You seem to know Josephine quite well.
I met her a long time ago. but we didn't become good friends until years later. After the Blight, in fact. I'd just returned to Val Rayo, and she welcomed me back by throwing a diplomatic ball. She was the Antivan ambassador at the time, you see. The ball was... alright. Too many politicians. At midnight, Josie and I left to find a real party. We've been friends ever since.
What do you consider a real party?
It's not a real party until someone's small clothes are pinned to a chantry board. And that's all I'm saying about it.
Okay,
We can
Liliana.
continue this conversation later.
You know where I am. Did you need something?
Anything I should know?
I've nothing to report at the moment.
Let's talk about you.
Me?
What did you do before you worked for the Divine?
I was a bard, an Orlesian spy for many years. For a time I also served a small cloister in Lothering. After the Blight, the Divine called on me to oversee her personal network.
Can you teach me to be a bard?
Being a bard is so much more than being a spy. It involves a keen understanding of politics, the ebb and flow of influence, the great game. The Bard's is an intricate dance where a smile can be sharper than any dagger. The best way to learn is to immerse yourself in it. Perhaps when this is all over, I'll teach you.
Bards tell tales. I bet you tell some good ones.
There are plenty of tales in the library. Perhaps you should look for them there.
I should leave you to your work.
We can always talk later.
She's changed. She has changed. Let's see here.
How kind of him.
That, and he said people who freeze to death don't spend much time.
Your kind killed the most holy.
Lies. Your kind let her die.
Shut your mouth, mage! Knight Commander!
That is not my title. We are not Templars any longer. We are all part of the Inquisition.
And what does that mean exactly?
Back already, Chancellor. Haven't you done enough?
I'm curious, Commander, as to how your Inquisition and its herald will restore order as you've promised.
Of course you are. Back to your duties, all of you.
That's just lovely. You fucking idiot.
Mages and Templars were already at war. Now they're blaming each other for the Divine's death.
Which is why we require authority to guide them back to order.
Who? You? Random clerics who weren't important enough to be at the Conclave?
The Rebel Inquisition and its so-called Herald of Andraste? I think not.
So far, you're the only one who's insisted we can't work together.
We might, if your Inquisition would recognize the Chantry's authority.
There is no authority until another Divine is chosen.
In due time, Andraste will be our guide, not some dazed wanderer on a mountainside.
Remind me why you're allowing the Chancellor to stay?
Clearly, your Templar knows where to draw the line.
He's toothless. There's no point turning him into a martyr simply because he runs at the mouth. The Chancellor's a good indicator of what to expect in Val Royeaux, however.
How widespread is the violence between mages and Templars?
Impossible to say.
Your organization flouting the Chantry's authority will not help matters.
With the Conclave destroyed, I imagine the war between mages and Templars is renewed with interest.
The mages and Templars are fighting even though we don't know what really happened at the Temple of Sacred Ashes?
Exactly why all this should be left to a new Divine. If you are innocent, the Chantry will establish it as so.
Or we'll be happy to use someone as a scapegoat.
You think nobody cares about the truth? We all grieve Justinia's loss.
But you won't grieve if the Herald of Andraste is conveniently swept under a carpet.
Well, let's hope we find solutions, and not a cathedral full of chancellors.
The stuff of nightmares.
Mock, if you will. I'm certain the Maker is less amused.
There was no word for heaven or for earth, for sea
Researcher
or
Menave
sky.
wishes...
All
Greetings,
that
Herald of
existed was
Andraste.
silence.
How fares your quest to
Then
seal the
voice
breach?
of the Maker rang out. The first word.
Well, you know how these things go. At least, I hope someone does.
You laughed to bring a little light into the darkness. And I'm glad to see it. Too many see laughter as antithetical to the chant of light. They imagine Andraste as a grim warrior all her life, forgetting that she loved and was loved in return. I hope she found time for laughter during her trials, as I hope you do.
I appreciate your insight, Mother Giselle.
Take it for whatever it is worth. You walk a difficult path, and there is little enough I can do to aid you. In any case, I pray this Inquisition proves less brutal than its predecessor.
Can you tell me about the original Inquisition?
The original Inquisition was formed after the First Blight, well before the Chantry as we know it. The Inquisitors were hunters, zealots, who tracked and killed cultists and dangerous mages. As Andraste rose to power, the Inquisition came into her service. Instead of hunting those who would do harm, the Inquisitors spread the chant of light by force.
It sounds as though it was necessary at the time.
Perhaps. They committed acts I find reprehensible, but they lived in a time with no circles. There was no justice, no safety from the danger of mages, or abominations, except for them. In any case, once the chant of light had spread far and wide, there was less need for zealots. The Inquisitors became the seekers of truth, and eventually the Templars.
And now the Inquisition has been called again to restore order. By force.
Do you know what impresses me most about the original Inquisition? They fought horrific battles, killed and died for their cause, and when it was time, they put their swords away. Perhaps the name was divine, Justinia's message, that when the Inquisition is needed, it will strike without mercy. But when its work is done, it will put its sword away.
Do you know who the Grand Clerics will choose as the next Divine?
It is a difficult decision. All the obvious candidates perished with Divine Justinia at the Conclave. The Grand Clerics are terrified of the Inquisition. They will not decide soon, and I fear they will not decide wisely. Whoever is chosen needs the Inquisition's support. No one else seems likely to seal the breach.
How are the people doing after what happened at the Conclave?
They are scared, of course. Many have lost homes or loved ones. I doubt many will sleep well until you have sealed the breach. I have offered what help I can. The rest is for the Inquisition. What more do you wish to know?
How are the villagers in Haven doing?
They are terrified. Many of them came here because the war between the Mages and the Templars destroyed their homes. In their minds, the death of a divine has destroyed any chance of peace. To that, add the breach. Farmers have fled their fields. If we do not restore order, half of Thedas may starve.
What are you doing to help these people?
My sisters and I have been tending to the injured as best we are able. Some refugees come with food, while others arrive empty-handed. I have helped ensure that all have enough to eat. Beyond that, many simply wish the familiar comfort of the Chant of Light. It is little enough work to offer some comfort to those in pain.
Do you have information on people elsewhere?
The refugees in the hinterlands are desperate. Without help, starvation or war will claim many lives. Villagers in Crestwood, are besieged by their own dead. They have sent word begging for assistance. People are vanishing in the hills of Emprise de Lyon. It may be demons or something worse, but they are terrified. More than that I cannot say. It is a chaotic time for all in Olay and Ferelden.
Farewell, revered mother.
Farewell.
Has anyone dared ask? No, I do not think. Ah, Master Adar. May I have a word?
Hello? Can I help you with something?
I'll speak with you later.
Travel safely.
What did you need?
Well, as you are, Talvashos, people have asked. You grew up outside the Canary homeland, but there is no easy way to ask your thoughts on the Qun.
I've considered joining the Qun.
Please, please keep that between us. People ask how a Qunari could be Andraste's herald. It worries them if they believe it, and angers them if they do not. Convincing them of your good intentions will be tasking.
The people will only trust me with the Inquisition after we impress them.
Very true. Let us hope sealing the breach brings us some goodwill. Strangely, your mercenary work is not so inflammatory. People are fabricating extravagant tales of your heroics.
There wasn't a group around that didn't want my help when a tough assignment came up. If you needed it done, Adar was at the top of the list.
I noticed. Leliana found a letter from the captain of your last company. He had nothing but praise for your skill in battle, but doesn't mention what part you played.
I was in charge of mercenaries storming the headquarters of the bandits we were to dispatch. We caught them by surprise. It was over before the sentries even blew their horns.
That is impressive. I hope life in Haven doesn't bore you compared to such exploits.
There are some people who've made staying worthwhile.
How wonderful. You must tell me who they are.
Really?
Greetings.
Let's speak later.
Goodbye. Greetings.
What do the people make of us?
Despite our fame, we're low on steadfast allies. We must aim for more.
Let's speak later.
Farewell.
Have you kept in touch with our friends in Lady Esterly's estate?
Several bards will play for her tomorrow night. We will have names soon enough.
Alright, I'll send Colin, because he would do it the best. Their Terran, Terran of Highover wishes to convey our deepest, yes, we'll hold a vigil in Highover in remembrance of Justinia and cordially invite the Inquisition to attend. Alright.
Alright.
Address a nobleman's concern. Your Inquisition says it's for order against chaos, reason and darkness. If you stand by this, come forth and drive the heretics from my lands. They claim to be refugees, but I have seen elves and apostates among them. Filthy savages. Staring okay, I get.
Let us begin.
Ferelden has not seen significant Grey Warden activity since Darkspawn attacked the city of Amon-Ramphrein 10 years ago. It's not unusual for their order to fade from public notice when there is no blight. However, recent reports claim that the group was traveling along the northern coastline. Wardens tend to follow their own agenda, but the breach has no doubt caught their attention. If they know something, then the Inquisition should find out. Alright. She sent word that her party had established a camp near the shore, but we have received nothing further. At this time, the status of Harding and her mission remains unknown. Now. I've got other things to deal with. Okay.
Let's see what we have.
Alright. Okay. Well, this is just great. I heard you are dead. Contact with the Valocast mercenaries, and then a prisoner. And then maybe you fell out of the fate and landed on your head and forgot who you were. Seriously, stop that. We still haven't been paid. Some of our kith made it out of that giant shithole full of demons after the explosion. The rest are dead or missing. I don't know how many were wounded, rounded up by the angry humans. If you're not dead and you remember who you are, help me find our brothers and sisters. If you... Okay. The shards. Okay. Though ancient in origin. Okay. I need more power. Fine. Well, I guess I'm going back. I need to get some horses.
Seat me by your side in death. Make me one with you.
Alright, I'm just going to go to the blacksmith and get something done there.
We get better horses. You think that'll make a difference?
Master Dennett's horses in the hinterland are faster and...
Yes, that achievement noise. Really annoying. Well, I will be going. Actually, I need to go back there. Well, before I travel to Val Royeaux, I'll get more power. Need more power. Well, first off, I'll get horses, and then I'll worry about everything else. Graphical issues, what can I say? They didn't really think things completely through.
I'm used to delivering children and helping immigrants get to
For she who trusts in the Maker, fire is her.
Has Cassandra spoken to you about my new recruits?
They are not your recruits, Commander. They're ours.
You're both wrong, by the way. Colin and Liliana, they're both wrong. Those recruits are mine. The Inquisition is mine. It's only going to take a bit of time until that gets sorted out. I guess if I travel to Val Royeaux, I would get Vivienne. I know exactly who the party members are that you can get. Anyway, I need to travel a very long distance to get there. Well, gotta get to it. Anyway, Costin here on Serious Gaming, signing out. Don't forget to subscribe and like the video. Thank you all for watching and stay tuned for more.